Hey everybody, welcome back to the Bird's Eye Review. My name is Alex, and today we want to take a look at a pretty cool product. It's called the Zipadee-Zip. It's something that they claim, and when I say they, I mean the creators of the product, they claim you're going to give not only your child a good night's sleep, but give you, the parents, a good night's sleep. It's always tough in those early years, coming home with your kids. From the hospital that first time, I remember I was so tired. It was unbelievable. And the first couple months were really rough. And then once you get to around month 3 is when you can use a product like this. Not earlier than that. But you can use this product in around month 3, and it's really, for us, was a godsend, at least with one of our children. If you enjoy the content, definitely give us a subscribe. We'd love to keep providing you with great content and ideas for products that you'd like to buy. We also love to help you make good decisions. We want to take the guesswork out of this. In this day and age, it's Amazon, it's Target.com, it's eBay, wherever it is. We buy a lot of things and we never see them, never touch them. And to people who weren't part of this generation, that's probably crazy to them. And you know what? I'm part of this generation, and sometimes, even though I do it, it seems crazy to me. So I want to help you make a good decision on a product, and I want to help show you what the product's about. So definitely subscribe if you find what we're doing here helpful. I hope you do. And let's kind of move on with this product. So you might have first seen this product on Shark Tank. It was on Shark Tank, I want to say maybe 3 years ago. I'm not really sure about that, but it was on Shark Tank a few years ago. And it was promoted as a transitionary item that helped your baby go from swaddling, which is a lot of times what people do when your kid's younger, like really young, like birth to several months, from swaddling all the way over to kind of being able to move around, roll around, and crawl. This thing kind of does a little bit of a combo of both. It allows them to feel swaddled, feel like they're enclosed in a swaddle, which is supposed to kind of replicate the womb and make babies feel safe, which helps to keep them calm. So this is supposed to do that, but it's stretchy and big. It's not tight at all. It only opens in the neck part, but it's a zipper, and it has a little safety flap there, which is nice. Actually, let me hold that up a little closer. There's a little safety flap to cover the zipper so that you don't have to worry about the zipper poking your baby in the neck or whatever that might be. But you unzip it, put them in there with pajamas. Preferably, I guess if it's really hot, they could do it without, but you probably want to have pajamas on. You zip it up and lay them in there. It's like it's the fastest swaddling blanket ever, because I know I was okay with swaddling blankets. You have those ones with Velcro, which make it easier, and those are pretty cool. But this thing is put them in, zip, because it doesn't really matter how tight it is. In fact, you don't really want it to be tight. He or she could still move their arms around and do things with them inside the sack. So it's really pretty cool that it does that. So it allows your baby to continue to develop. A lot of times babies develop a lot of their moving and rolling skills in their cribs because they're in there alone, they're not distracted, and that's when they have them time to themselves and they kind of learn how to roll over. Well, my son, who still uses this today, as a matter of fact, this is actually a real used sleep sack. Like, he uses it, not to clean for this video, but anyways, he uses it and he crawls around with it all the time. We have a video monitor looking into his crib. You see him crawling around in there, and he's almost 2 years old at this point. That's the other thing. This thing can be used. I actually saw recently that it's up to 4 or 5 years old, but I'm hoping he's done with it in about the next year or so. He's almost 2 years old, but it's definitely good up to 3. And originally when it was made, I think that was the target age, was 3 years old. It's 50% cotton and 50% roughly, I might not know those percentages exact, but 50% cotton and 50% like an acrylic. It's very soft, it feels like cotton, machine washable, no problems there. We didn't have any shrink issues or anything like that. This is the large size, so later on in the video I'll probably get a little model shot of my son with it on. He's actually napping right now. But anyways, this is pretty large. He still has some room to grow in it. I believe they go from 23 inches to about 45 inches length, give or take. And the recommended youngest age is 3 months old. So You don't want to use it before then, although maybe it depends on the kid, but I would say, I don't think we started using it until closer to 5 months. But let me tell you that once we started using it, it was awesome. So the product really plays on that safety angle, that feeling safe, that feeling hugged and close, or like in the womb when they're really tight in there. This gives them that freedom, but allows them to feel a lot safer. I know my son, when he uses it, he sucks his thumb in it. He never used a pacifier, and he never sucked his thumb outside of this. Once he started using this, and I don't even think it happened at first, but as he got a little older, 6 months old, he started using it, and he would kind of suck his thumb and soothe himself to sleep, which was fine with me. He doesn't suck his thumb outside of it. He only does it in there. He doesn't sit on the couch and suck his thumb or anything, so I haven't noticed it being habit forming, but that could just be him. I can also tell you that he wasn't the first child we used it with. We used it with my other son, who is now 4 years old, and we used it with him a little bit, but he really didn't make much of a difference. Maybe a slight difference, but it was barely noticeable. It wasn't a huge deal. With my son, who's now 2, Aiden, before we started using this product, we'd get, and this is around the, like I said, maybe 4 or 5 month mark, we might get, at best, 6 hours of sleep out of him, which actually is really good at that point. But that was like his best night. I mean, 6 hours of sleep is still very good. But typically, we're getting 4 hours of sleep. He'd wake up, he'd want a bottle, all that kind of stuff, which is normal. I mean, they're growing, and that's kind of the way it goes. This didn't immediately cure that, but by the time he was, this gave us more 6 hour nights. And then by the time he was 7, 8 months old, he started kind of weaning off his midnight or nighttime feeding. And then, greatest thing ever, it was like, oh, he slept through the night, like 10 or 12 hours. Like we woke up at like 7 a.m. and we're like, oh my gosh, what's going on? Like, where is he? And lo and behold, he was just laying in his crib. He was actually awake. You look on the monitor and he's just sucking his thumb. And I was like, wow, this thing, for him, it worked. It was an absolute godsend. So in that case, it was good. Some kids it might not be. So I can't promise that it's going to be awesome for your kid, but I can tell you this. If you're experiencing any issues and you want to give something a try, because I know I've been there, you're grasping at straws like, what can I do to make this better? If you're looking for something that you think might help, this thing is worth it, I think, as far as that goes. It's not a guarantee, but I think it could work really well. So here's the star of our show, Aiden, in his sleep sack. We have the other one that we showed earlier, and then he has Aiden in his blue sleep sack. He loves to use his sleep sack. I can tell you that it's a little bit expensive. One of the negatives about it, $40 for a sleep sack is kind of a lot. But if somebody told you for $40 you can have a good night's sleep, I'm pretty sure we'd all pay that. He's already getting tired right now. It's really probably depends on the child, but if it's gonna work for your child, it's really gonna help. One of the things that I like about it too is that it's very soft and it's seasonal. You can wear it, it's all year round. There's no problem with wearing it in the summer, spring, winter. He wears his all year round. We don't change it. There's not different types. It's just, you just put different pajamas on underneath. But it's light enough that it never really is a problem no matter what season it is. One of the things you want to watch out for is that it does kind of get, it's probably hard to see, but he does suck on this a lot, and so it's turned a yellowish color, kind of stains, and that's because he sucks his thumb through there all the time and it gets soaked through. So you probably want to get at least 2 or 3 of those sleep sacks because you're going to have to wash one and he might need one, and for us, he's like dependent on it. I don't even know if he could go to sleep without it right now. So it could be an issue later on. It could we might have to cross that bridge when we come to it of weaning him off of it, but I'll take that for years of, or months of sleep. Actually, it's been years for us now at this point. He's almost 2 years old. So I think that the sleep sack is definitely worth a shot. It could depend on the kid. I can't guarantee it'll work, but we had very good results with Aiden. My older son, Adam, it was okay. It didn't hurt anything. I don't think it made a huge difference, but maybe give us an extra hour here or there. If you want to order this, post a link below on Amazon. You can order right through that and pick. I'd say pick at least 2 up because you're going to want to have one that you can wash and one that's always available. And you know, besides that, I think it's a good product that's worth a shot. If you enjoyed this video and you enjoy the content that we provide here at Bird's Eye Review, definitely give us a subscribe, comment below, let us know how it's going, and let us know if you get it and what your experience is with it. Wow, he's a big boy. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. Sit down, Zipadee. Wave now. Bye.